Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hey Spiders. My name is Jessica, and today I'm going to show you a rehousing of Orphnaecus species Marinduque purple. This is an old world fossorial species native to the island province of Marinduque in the Philippines, and I can't wait to show you. Hey guys, so here we are. We're going to do this rehousing. First, I wanted to show you the enclosure that I'm using. So currently this tarantula is in a 16-ounce deli cup. I'll show you that in 1 minute. And I'm going to upgrade her or him. I'm not sure the gender yet, but I'm going to upgrade to this little plastic container. I got these containers at Walmart, just in the, I think it was in the art section, honestly, but you should be able to find them in the storage container section. And then I used a soldering iron to poke these holes in it, and I've got holes along the sides. And then you'll see this piece of masking tape right here. I had holes in it there because I initially had this enclosure. I think a Caribbean Versicolor was in it, so I'm modifying it a little bit so I can use it for this old world fossorial that we're about to rehouse. And then I also put holes in the lid because, like I said, it was for a Versicolor and they like the ventilation. So with that said, this container is about 5 inches tall by 5 inches wide, and it's about 4 inches deep. I like these for my arboreal tarantulas and also for my fossorial tarantulas because I can fill it up quite high with substrate for the fossorial guys, or, you know, obviously for arboreals, it gives them a lot of room up top. So with that being said, let's get to setting this enclosure up for this spider. So I'm going to put in Reptisoil. I like it. I think it holds the burrows pretty well. And I tend to pack it down a tiny bit because it's going to settle. And when it does settle, you're going to go, oh my gosh, I had more soil in there than that. What happened? So before I put myself in that predicament again, I'm just going to add a little bit more soil. So before I add the next little bit, I'm going to water down what I have in here. And if it starts to pool on the top, you can always take a paintbrush or a pipette and make a little hole. I'm just going to use my finger here so it drains down. And what you want to see for these fossorial spiders that are moisture dependent is the bottom half is going to be moist, and then the top part you let it dry out. That'll help you combat any kind of mold or mildew issue you've got going on, and the spider will still be able to burrow down to the moisture level that it wants. So that's a little trick for that. All right, so now that you see kind of the depth of the soil that we're using and the container that we're using, I'll show you how we're gonna set it up from the top. Also, a little side note about cork bark. I put cork bark in all of my enclosures for my tarantulas, unless it's in like a vial or something that's too small that won't accommodate a piece of cork. And in that case, I like to use a bigger kind of magnolia leaf or oak leaf so they can have something to give themselves some cover. And I might put a starter burrow or something under that for them. But for the cork bark, I prefer to purchase the cork rounds. This is a cork round. I like these because they tend to be a little bit thinner. And I'll show you what I mean. This one was from a cork flat, and you can see how thick and chunky that is. It's not concave, and it takes up quite a bit of space in the already kind of small enclosure. So I just feel like it's more conducive for the housing purposes if I use, this is broken off a piece like the one I just showed you. See how concave it is? It's a little less chunky, and I think it gives them more of a little area to hide in, and I might fill it up with moss or something. But yeah, I just prefer these pieces. So here we are. We're going to add our cork bark in now. I try to give them a couple of pieces if possible, but it might not be possible because this is kind of a smaller enclosure, but we'll see what we can do. So here's a nice one there. And let me get some sphagnum down in the front of it. We'll make it nice and secure for him. And he might move that out and that's fine, but it'll just make it a little bit more secure for him to start with. Make him feel, hopefully it'll let him settle in a little bit quicker. So, and then I pick a corner that I'm gonna have my water dish in. So that looks good over there. I like to put sphagnum moss underneath my water dish. So when I overflow it, it kind of holds some moisture right there in that corner for him. But you don't have to do that. That's just my personal preference. So he's got his starter burrow here. I say he, like I said, it's, I don't know the sex of this spider yet. There we go. And I try to give him some anchor points. These fossorials, obviously, I imagine he's going to live underground, but in case they choose to web and stay up top, I like to give them some anchor points. All right, there we have his little water dish. I put water dishes in with all of my tarantulas, even the slings. Everybody gets a water dish. They don't have to use it, but I've seen a bunch of them drink, and I just feel better with it in there. So we do a water dish. Let's see, got some leaf litter. This is oak. And I have this big magnolia leaf, but I don't really think he needs it necessarily. But sometimes I have them start starter burrows underneath the magnolia, so I keep it out there. Plus it gives them a little bit of cover if they're out and about. So there we go. All right, so I think this is ready. And we'll get the spider out and we'll show you which we've got. So we're going to rehouse the Orphnaecus species Marinduque purple. I purchased this tarantula from Fear Not back in December of 2022 as a half-inch sling. This is a fossorial species from the Philippines, and as adults they reach about a 4-inch diagonal leg span. This species is known for their potent venom, speed, and agility, but if kept properly, you can mitigate much of that reputation and behavior. That said, this is not a good beginner species due to the temperament it being an old world with that potent venom, speed, and moisture requirements. Let's do a rehousing. All right, a quick side note. We have this crumpled paper in the corner of our bin that we rehouse in. That way, if and when the tarantula gets out of the enclosure, it's still contained, and hopefully it'll sit in that corner and feel secure and just chill there for a minute while we regroup and catch it. So we always rehouse in one of these plastic bins just to act as a secondary barrier for these guys. That being said, here we go. So trying to see where this guy is. All right, where are you? Okay, I see him. He's hiding here underneath this bark. Let's get that out of there. Just the best way to do this. All right, little friend. Can you come out for me? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. We're in no rush. Come on, little homie, get out of there. Gosh, you got bigger than I thought you were. I don't want this thing to go kerplunk on you, buddy. Don't get all freaked out. I'm giving you a home. You're getting an upgrade, little dude. And your home is crumbling, so I need you to evacuate the premises. Could you... Dude, I'm trying not to let you get squished. So I'm just touching the side of her, and I'm just kind of scooching her over, honestly. She's kind of hunkered down here. There she goes. She's got a leg out. I don't know how much you're able to actually see because my big hand is in the way. But hopefully we can get her over here. Come on, sis. There you go. It's all good. It's all good. So there, maybe we can zoom in a little bit here and get a little look at her. What do you think, cameraman? You got a good look at her? Oh, she's a little bigger than I thought she was. What a beautiful spider, though. Oh my goodness. I haven't had that much of a good look at her. She's been in that milky little cup. So this is the first time I've gotten to see her in a little bit, too. Man, she is gangly. What a cool looking spider, though. So this spider is native to the Philippines. It's a close cousin to the Orphnaecus philippinus, or Philippine tangerine. There's not a whole lot out there on these guys because they're fairly new to the hobby, but I'm super excited to have her. What a gorgeous girl. I just love her so much. She's such a beautiful color, and her front legs are a little bit different color than her back legs and her abdomen. What a cool looking spider. Wow. I'm trying not to breathe on her. Get this out of there. There we go. Okay. Got that out of the way. Here's the lid. But I just wanted to get a good look at her because, man, she is beautiful. It's the best part about these rehousings. You get to look at some of these fossorial species that you haven't really seen in a while. So this species of spider are considered one of the teleporters of the hobby. These guys are quick. They're agile and they pack some pretty potent venom. So I would not recommend these for beginners. But once you're comfortable in your rehousings and you're feeling pretty good and solid about that, these are a beautiful spider to get. I'm so glad that I picked her up from that Christmas special at Fear Not. What a cool specimen. All right, I'm gonna put the lid on her. There we go. And see, no big deal. These guys have a reputation for being fast and sassy and a little bit difficult. If you just go slow and deliberate and have a plan, generally, might jinx myself because we have several rehousings to do today. Generally, everything goes pretty smooth. So there you have it, the Orphnaecus species Marinduque purple. I hope you guys enjoyed that rehousing. I'd also like to add that for temperatures, I keep these guys between 68 and 78 degrees Fahrenheit. The warmer you keep it, the quicker these slings are going to grow out of that delicate stage. I'd also like to add that as slings, I feed these guys small pre-killed crickets or large cricket drumsticks. As they gain a little bit of size and get bigger, you can also feed them pre-killed large crickets, dubia or B. lateralis. I'd also like to add that anytime I feed crickets to my spiders, especially fossorials, I always give them pre-killed because those crickets will go in and look for the moisture and they could injure and maybe even kill your tarantulas. So just to be on the safe side, I recommend pre-killing them. I hope you guys found this informative and helpful. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. In the meantime, enjoy your spiders.